Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's match. Tonight, it's going to be Thomas College versus Southern New Hampshire University. The Terriers versus the Penmen. Tonight, we're going to be starting it off here on Oasis, where we're going to have Thomas College on side Team Red and the Penmen on Team Blue. Going to be starting out here in the ruins. We're going to be seeing that we're setting up a brawl versus dive sort of setup. Both sides are going to be utilizing the Symmetras here to get an initial teleport out of the spawn. We'll have to see how either comp is going to really be utilized going on to this point here, to say the least. And they are off. Going to be taking their ride on through. You see that it's going to be swapping to a poke side comp for the side of the Penmen, while the Terriers here are going to be working some space. Looking for an opening here, keeping their eye on Aquilian as they initiate with the ring boost. Venture going to be trying to follow up here as Crazy Cat is eliminated, followed up by One Trick. With the amount of pressure they're taking at once, it's not looking promising for the side of the Penmen, as they've unfortunately dove well too deep into the backline. So much so that even Ultima Weep was punished for their overaggression. So now going on into this, we're going to be seeing that the team has camped here for the side of the Terriers, and they're going to try to take some space going on into it. I'm going to try to see if Crazy Cat here can get some initial poke, because right now they're not doing a whole lot for their side playing this distance. They need to get up close and personal here. And that's going to be a hard thing to do, especially when you have to deal with Venture in the backline. You see the swap over from Helios here onto the Ramatra. They're trying to see who they can target, but it's not looking too grand for them, to say the least. Ultima Weep is the first one down again here, as the Terriers are just doing non-stop work against them here. I mean, take a look at Killer. Constantly displacing in the backline, taking the front line. He's controlling the entire flow of this fight here. So now with 50% in counting and a pulse bomb to boot here, Thomas College is just playing with their food at the moment. Really hoping to see if, coming out from the Penmen here, if they can try to hit this pulse onto a target. Ideally would be to try to get one or two of them confirmed for a kill, if not a DMEC here to find the opening. Tracer trying to go for a setup here, sees a healer, throws it, but misses outright here. It's about to get real chaotic. Bookshelf on the push, but watch out, it's the back line here that's in big trouble, as we're going to be seeing the pressure placed on. Going to be looking for that follow-up kill on the Crazy Cat there. There's 90% in counting. It's going to have to be up to Helios to try to see if they can make touch on point. They get the Tracer on, but here comes Juno. It's going to be way too much damage to survive from, as you're going to be seeing the Terriers pick them off one by one in this hunt. Even just trying to duke it out here on point. You're going to be seeing that this Juno ult is actually helping Ultima Weep do wonders for the team right now. He's found two and looking for a third. Able to get the DMEC, but has to watch out for the pulse bomb. Recalls perfect in time in order to dodge the bomb. Now going to be trying to go into the backline here, carrying the fight with the pulse as Bob is taking control of point. They're finally able to turn it around, and it's now in the Penmen's control. A well-needed win there. Very close to being lost at all costs, but they're able to pull it on back. The Terriers here are going to be trying to find an opening from an initial pick. Probably going to be looking to see if they can take down Crazy Cat again, who has been the first one to go more often than not, aside from Ultima Weep. What you really need coming out here from Penmen is to trying to see, can they get the pressure on? They've been looking very hurt, and they get the DMEC onto them, but we will have Neon over here playing in the rear, trying to see if they can apply some extra pressure. No health pack to recover from, but a beautiful knockoff from Bookshelf with the assistance of Venture. Finding those kills to confirm here, just taking down whatever is left in sight here. One more charge, And a follow-up to boot here. It's going for the overtime yet again. Finds it. And now we're going to be seeing that more than likely no touch here coming out from the side of the penman as round number 1 is completed. I mean, credit where credit's due. We don't get to see often the support line applying the pressure they did, but look, give it to Bookshelf here for not only keeping the team alive, but having complete control of that fight there. Being able to knock people off and set the tempo for their team to go on in. A beautiful sight to behold. Now here on the Lighthouse, we're going to have to deal with a lot more high ground to low ground plays here. And these are high level teams. They know what they're working with, so this isn't just your run-of-the-mill type of games. Without further ado, we go right on into it again. Swapping back over to the Tracer, but watch out from above. You got stickied, as it's going to be Ultima Weep trying to see if they can try for an early pick here. Put in some good pressure, but not really finding any confirmation. Trying for the push, but not finding anything again. It's now going to be Killer that's trying to see if they can find an early pick. Point starts to unlock, and now we're going to be seeing that the first one to take control is going to be Penman here. SNHU is trying to just apply some pressure where they didn't have it before, and it's working wonders, I tell you. Oh no! Killer gets away with a dirty push off the map here, as they're able to not only turn the tide of this battle, but completely win out the point. Quillian, they're going for a reset as Helios gets the mech themselves. They're not giving up the point quite yet, as you're going to be seeing them trying to stall it on out. They're able to keep people on long enough to make sure it doesn't turn over quite yet. Pulse being thrown on out, not going to be finding its mark, but a copy is there. They need to try to see if they can build up to this pulse bomb as soon as possible, but that's going to be really hard for Ultima here, as they don't really have much follow-up as Tracer here. It's just very limited in their decision. However, they get it to 42 and counting, and they're able to bring out quite a bit there from Thomas, having forced an investment of Pulse Bomb out of Neon alone. Speaking of Neon, they're having a bit of action already, trying to see if they can take the duel here on the Crazy Cat. Not going to be finding anything, however. Just waiting for the follow-up, and executes it perfectly there, shutting down any chance for a Pulse Bomb to come out for the side of SNHU. Now going to be looking for some turnaround here. The Penmen are trying to apply a setup for a play. They're surrounded the Diva. Quillian trying to escape as best they can. They cannot. And we're going to be seeing coming on in here with the potential Juno ult right onto point. Has to be able to keep their Diva alive and well here. Can they do just that? Lock on, being able to find no one actually. And they're able to turn this tide here with the confirmation of Venture falling off the map. It's a real close one right now, and you're going to have to be seeing some real ults invested here from Thomas College, but they don't have anything to work with right now. At best, you're going to see Diva Bomb, but Diva Bomb's not utilized in the meta anymore for opening picks. It's only utilized to get a remake going and try to zone an area. So they're in a real big trouble here unless they can build something else. Ultima Weep coming in from the backline there with a big beam down, allowing Helios to follow it on up. Don't have a lot of time left for the side of the Terriers here to really make their push in, as they're trying to keep their distance right now and try to stay alive. 80% and counting now here. Killer trying their darndest to stay alive while building up their ult. It's really imperative that they get it here to try to clear the point as they make the push onto it. They're now making the aggression here. Crazy Cat going to be coming around for their rear, while from the side of Thomas College, they're now devoting themselves onto the point. Ults have to be invested into this. And right now, you're seeing a lot of damage coming in. But do we have a savior? Maybe. Not able to get underground in time. That is going to cost Thomas there, as they're going to try for a Regan test, but it is not going to be long for them, as Neon does not have much time on the point. That's going to be round number 2, going for SNHU. The Penman and Terriers are tied 1-1.
Score 1-1.
Well, I don't believe it, but we have a fight on our hands here. We're now going to be heading over to the last and final point. Welcome to the Well. This is one of those maps, or I should say points, that are going to be a little more odd. You may see a bit change up. Things like Doomfist getting played, Roadhog, Ariso, the such. Things that will either knock people into the hole or playing, again, to high ground to low ground and just jumping on all sorts of angles. Chokes are key to hold in these fights here. So now, having both sides getting out early, you're going to see almost an exact mirror comp, except for the difference being Crazy Cat and Killer here. Going to take the initial push from Crazy Cat's perspective here by random selection to see how they're going to make this engagement. Bookshelf is going to have to be very, very careful in their positioning so they do not get taken on out. Taking a look at high ground here, you are going to be seeing a lot of pressure coming out against Aquilian, but the point has just unlocked, and they're going to need someone to keep on the pressure there, and that someone's going to have to be Bookshelf, who's trying to play for distance, but could be in a world of hurt unless they get the support they need from Juno. Speaking of which, the point has been given up here over to the side of SNHU. They're applying real good pressure against the Terriers right now, who are just trying to find some sort of opening, some sort of breaks, and that first break is going to be found here. Neon is the first to fall. Aquilian is next on their list. But watch out from the side. Killer getting a flanking angle to try to see if they can apply some pressure, able to get underground in time and some knockaround with it, but at the cost of Diva losing their mech. So with Pulse coming on out and your tank down, you need to get the heck out of there right now. That Juno ring will help them do just that, but they are still backing up here. You're going to have the Juno coming in here. This orbital cannon is going to have them set up for a push here, but only if they can get some value out of it compared to One Trick. If One Trick gets theirs off, it's going to be a match for match here. And here it comes in now. It's going to be coming in fast and hard. They're able to find them immediately there. Bookshelf, Neon, the first to the fall, as well as Aquilian losing their mech immediately. Killer trying their best to keep alive and at an angle, but not going to be finding any pickoffs here, unfortunately, as the bomb shuts down Aquilian. 71% in counting. It's one of those points that really is heavy one-sided once you start to lose the momentum here. And look at these angles they're playing too. They're constantly either in hallways or clumped up in chokes, which is perfect for the Penman to try to apply these big splash type damage plays. Gonna be seeing the immediate pick coming from Neon here. A great play to start as Killer's going in with the ult. They're going to be able to apply a good amount of pressure here. Can they get the follow-up? Yes, sir. That's going to be One Trick falling on down there, tripping over their own feet as they're going to try to stall out Helios. Helios has to try to get into the pit as quickly as possible. They do fall down, but they will unfortunately be not staggered out from the respawn due to the new respawn mechanics. Thank you, Overwatch. But all you have right now is bomb to work with. Maybe Crazy Cat can build up to their pulse bomb, but I'm slightly doubtful of it. But oh, wait a minute. Killer in the back line with murderous intent finds the pick from below. Death to above. They're now just playing for stall here, seeing who else they can find, as they've already got that opening pick on to not just one, but two players from the side of South SNHU. Get a little too excited there. Gonna be looking to see some extra pressure. Killer, what are you doing? Are you going to try for it again? Yes, sirree. Look at him go. No shame in their push whatsoever. But Crazy Cat has to stick this here. Misses the pulse from point blank, tossing it over Aquilian. That is not what you want to have happen there. Oh no! Diva versus Diva here as both orbital cannons are activated. The bomb comes on out, finds fives as Ultimo Weep is able to get a trade themselves. Here comes two more bombs. Who's going to get the value? No one, but Ultimo Weep has already found two, and they're looking for more. They're trying to see if they can shut down this Juno, but they need the cap point right now. That's not going to happen thanks to Pain. Pain's not going to give up on their team here, but they better believe that they're going to apply all the pressure possible. Helio's not long for this world as that right hit going to really eliminate the competition. Trying to zone best they can with Ring out there. They find the elimination they were looking for here. Just got to zone off Ultimo Wep, and they're able to do just that, winning Thomas College map number 1. And with map number 1 completed, let's find out who our play of the game is. And it shouldn't be a surprise here, the assassin themselves, Killer! Coming in from the backline to find every lost wandering soul. A great play and asset for the side of Thomas College here. We're going to hit a quick intermission, folks, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back! Welcome back to the match tonight. We're in map number 2. It's Gibraltar. Here we're going to have mostly high ground, low ground of this escort mission. The goal is to get to that spaceship. If the enemy team can get to the final destination, they will then from there switch sides. Whichever team has the furthest distance in this amount of time they get will win. Can they do it? Let's find out. As we're going to be having no side swaps here and no sub-ins, we're just going to be going right on in with both sides readying on up here. 20 seconds before they go in, look at how either side's going to be setting on up here. You're going to be seeing good hiding options here coming out from the side of the penmen as they're going to try to keep control of this bridge for as long as possible, but that might not happen if Neon's gonna get away with this teleport completely unpunished. Let's see if they get just that, going out immediately for the teleport there. It's now gonna be Thomas College pushing their way on in. Hello, Winston. Gonna be facing right front and center here. See if they can apply some pressure potentially, but not gonna be finding anything for now. Has to get on out of there if they're gonna play to live here. You got a lot of pressure going on around the points, but nothing too serious. Set 4-5s here, going to be trying to keep their team up as long as possible. Doing a tremendous job being able to keep their distance while applying pressure whenever and wherever it's needed. Ultimo Web definitely being one of them to love the support there, but Helios is not so lucky as they were not able to receive the support in time. It's now going to be up to Thomas College to really apply the pressure here as the card progresses. Ultimately, has to be very careful. Killer is going to be in their backline again. As they're going to apply this frontline pressure here, Aquilian is trying to stuff this choke as much as they can. Make sure no one can pass through. Even Payne, someone who you would not expect to be in the front line, is right up there with them. Just everyone on this team is working together to take shifts in turn. They just need to keep this cart moving here if they want to have it. Taking a look at this now. They're able to zone to get a pulse on the 5s here. They need to get rid of the Tracer. Crazy Cat on point, who's trying to stall it on out. They need some assistance from Helios Ultimo Leap. But that's not going to be much for anything. Even with the copy coming in here, I don't think they're long to hold this point as you just see the crossfire just collapse and sandwich their targets non-stop here as the point is captured. Breakout coming on out here from one trick, but is it needed? I dare say it's instead wasted here. Maybe they're going for a swap. Might be the case, but we're going to have to see as we're looking now for either some exit picks or just the die on point. They're trying to solve this as long as they possibly can. Because right now, Thomas College has been awarded 4 minutes in their timing, and that is a huge amount to work with. That's right, Killer. You're keeping the heat on and you're making them stay on their toes. So right now, the penmen have to try to see where can they apply some more pressure. Where are they falling short of? Now we did, as you probably have noticed, enabled skins here again. As you're going to be seeing here, Pulse Bomb coming on out, but not going to be landing as the recall has taken place here. Nano is ready to work with, but Killer already finding 2 from the get-go here, and they just keep dropping like flies. Penmen having a really tough time to maintain their pressure at the moment. They're able to get rid of all of Killer's pushes here, but is it going to be enough? Nano coming on out onto Winston here. Helios trying to hold down this point. They're able to get a couple of picks, following it up on the Killer, but it's so much pressure. I'm not sure they can really stay on. They just need to buy as much time as possible, and this copy is going to allow it here and now, forcing the Terriers to fall on back as Thomas College needs to regroup and plan their next push. A lot of ultimates being invested into that fight there, as you're going to be seeing them just apply an ungodly amount of pressure. Goodness gracious. Killer gets away with it again. You're going to be seeing them with the orbital cannon right away, shutting down the Winston, and they're picking them off one by one. Like a bunch of pixie sticks. Just getting rid of the Tracer there, and now being awarded another minute and a half. They are just under 4 minutes and counting now. Again, a tremendous time bank to work with, especially on these escort points, where time is key and space is mandatory to maintain if you're going to be able to try to hold these points. Now, third point, it gets a little dicey here, mind you. We do have to swap over to Widow, and Widow's going to have a rough time, especially against Winston diving on them with the rest of their team to support. They can try to go for the break here if they commit, but that could also put them at huge risk, such as Payne here, who is out of position and punished for it. Crazy Cat going to be trying to hunt down Bookshelf here. They do get the kill confirmed as they try to make their way on into Thomas College's spawn. But what's going on back here? Killer just sitting back again, and now being spotted here, could get punished, but gets out alive. They need to try to get this Mega in time, but they can. They just barely make it, but not in time to reach the breakout here. Pulse hits onto Aquilian as they're going to duke it out rally to rally. The first one to follow is One Trick, as well as the rest of SNHU here. The Sapphire team trying their desperate to hold on off on point. They were able to burn 1.5 minutes. That was awarded to the side of Thomas College initially, but they need a lot more than that at the moment. Gonna have to be looking for this potential primal to zone or stay alive on point as needed. While over here, you're gonna be seeing the push in from Killer and the follow-up from Neon. Neon trying to go for the pulse, not hitting their mark and having to play it very safe. Crazy Cat in a very, very dangerous situation here. But we're going to focus back on to this backline here of Thomas College, who's taking all the pressure in the world that you can imagine. Killer being able to shut down the copy here as Winston is priming on out there, trying to see if they could juggle the shooter away. But the hard thing is, she just flies everywhere she wants. A great shot out there to start. They have to get Aquilian here. Do they get it? No, siree. In fact, Helios barely able to stay alive thanks to the Ana nade. They have Nano ready and available here, and they're going to have to use it smartly to try to shut down any opposition that the Terriers have against the Penmen here. Going in for the initial dive, they're going to try to see if they can zone themselves. Bookshelf barely staying alive by a thread. There's the Nano punch. As you're going to be seeing Helios go in with the jump, they're hunting down everyone from the backline of Thomas College here. They may fall victim themselves, do they? No. Instead, it's going to be the immediate DMAC onto Aquilian there. Not ideal, especially if you're holding up a bomb there with the ult charge as needed to remech. Now, eyes are on you, Crazy Cat. You're going to have to see if you can take out this backline, and you're doing just that. Able to find the first, the second, looking for the third. That's going to be shutting down Aquilian immediately. Fives almost falling victim to Neon, but not going to be the case thanks to One Trick. They've got your back. They're your secret service, and they're going to dive and cover for you. It's now just over 30 seconds remaining here as you're going to be seeing ults all stacked here from the side of the Penmen. Right now, Southern New Hampshire looking to see if they can apply the pressure. They get that initial pick down to Bookshelf. First and foremost here, we do see the swap over the Roadhog, but I don't think it was the most ideal selection for them as they get picked on off from the hook line and Winston. Winston going in here with the Primal Rage. He's trying to see who he can keep on back here. Look out for One Trick trying to defend the team here. There's not really anyone to make the touch here unless Neon can do it. Neon is on with enough time to put it into overtime here. Bookshelf able to get the initial kill, and now they're trying to play for touch here alone. They're able to get on the start here, and Aquilian's looking to see who they can pick off the start here. Right now, looking at Ultima, who's not falling. He's taking so many shots to the face, but it doesn't matter. There's going to be the hook. It does hit. They're able to get the initial picks here. And right now, they've worked a number of ults out of the Penmen here. But they need to try to get this space. This is going to be imperative here. As you're seeing the Nano coming on up here. The Pulse Bomb. It's going to be also a potential Discord coming on out. They're going to try to pick off targets. Killer has the zone properly here with the ult. He gets them in their spawn right now. He's trying to keep them on back. He has the space, but there's almost a C9 on point here, as you're going to be seeing them playing for pressure here with the Winston. Winston going for the jump. They're trying to push back, and they find Bookshelf. Bookshelf's going to be the first to follow. Queen's hit with the anti, with the Discord, and they're trying their darndest to stay alive, but it's so much pressure, I don't think they're going to be able to. They don't. Crazy Cat finds to pick up Helios with the follow-up. It's just Venture here. Venture with just a sliver of health. That's going to end the overtime in round number 1. It was a great push there by Thomas College, but not enough. SNHU really pulled up their bootstraps and locked in to be able to stop the point where it stays. So now it is up to Thomas College to make sure that SNHU cannot get that distance there back in front of the spaceship. If they do, this map will go to them. So the Terriers have to try to plan out their attack here for a defensive hold. As for the side of the Penmen here, you're going to be seeing them probably stick to what they're working with. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You might see one trick here, sticking to the Kiriko. I'm curious if that will or will not be the case, as they were playing break prior, and the break was doing stupendously on that third point. But it was struggling in the prior ones, as they were suffering from snowball effect quite early on. So once they find their footing, that might be the recipe to success for them. As for the Terriers here, you have Neon now over onto the Ash. Ash is going to be just purely poke here. It's crucial that they get these dynamites off on large groups, but if you're able to get rid of that cleanse, and you get rid of it, you do, this has to find the explosion, but not going to, as they're going to have to play it on back. Going to be a lot of poke and prod here from either side. No one really finding any amount of distance, but Crazy Cat is going to get this point moving without any contest against them. As for Queen, they're going to try to apply some pressure. It's a good idea here, but it's a very dangerous situation they find themselves in. Looking to pincer the Winston, not able to do enough as they're able to stay alive. Neon, however, finds the pick off on the Crazy Cat immediately there, as Helios has a helping hand from Bookshelf to get back up onto the ridge. Payne trying to get back as best as they can, but that Winston looking very hurt. Helios has to get out alive. No, they cannot. Neon with the quick snipe, gained in those shots here. Just has to get a setup here. Explosion coming on out. It does, but it finds no value. And they're on 50 for Bob here. No sides has ult available quite yet, but we're coming up on some potentials here, especially coming out from Fives, Heals, Ultima. As for the side of Thomas College, Killer is the one to keep an eye on there. Great knockback from the side of Neon, as they're now going to try to make this pressure onto the backline here. Bookshelf is going to be the key target here, but watch out, Neon is going unpunished. Every time they think they've cleared the high ground, they haven't. Instead, it's going to be a DPS on your left, a DPS on your right. Someone where you have not checked your angle thoroughly enough that is going to get you killed. Here comes the Orbital Cannon right now, and it's going to enable the team to make their push here into the side. But watch out, Primal is going to be met with the rally as well. Bomb's in there too to boot. But Bomb is going to be a rough one to defend against. They do successfully block, and that is a wonder that they were able to do it in time as Rally ran on out there. Bookshelf here trying to send away and knock out the competition. Crazy Cat was a little too crazy going in as deep as they did. Ultimately, getting that copy there is doing wonders with their ult there. Venture ult is just a shockwave of damage every single time. The sweep coming on in here, trying to go for the pickoff, but Killer, their movements are starting to get red here. Thomas College needs to probably play for potential overtime as they're losing their numbers fast and quickly. They get the cap here, and now it's just a matter of picking them off one by one, building up some more ult charge, and taking space. If they can snowball Thomas here, they're going to have a really good push going into second. The Terriers, on the other hand, are going to be able to get out for now, but they're looking for a pick as well here. Killer is not one to be deterred by aggression from the opposition here. Instead, they are going to welcome it and try to push on back. They say, you punch, I smack. You smack, I hit back. And they're looking to find what they can here. However, make it known that the point is still progressing here with Crazy Cat. It's only now just stopped after going more than halfway to its destination. Primo is on out here. It's trying to see if they can corral someone for a juggle, but Helios has overstayed their welcome as they get picked on off. Aquarian played very aggressive front in general, but not going to be punished for it as there wasn't enough pressure supporting Ultima to be able to shut him down. 2.5 minutes to work with here now. We're going to have to see some ults coming on out here. Crazy Cat needs, and I mean needs, to stick this pulse here. Just missing the jump there, but going to be trying to play for point. As for the rest here, you're going to have the sweep come on through from the side of Killer, but not going to be finding anything quite yet. Instead, it's going to be a knock up and back here. Crazy Cat's going to be the first to fall. They were not able to utilize their pulse bomb there, nor were they able to utilize the copy, so that is not a situation that you want to have happen there if you are a Penman fan. Instead, you're going to have to see here that Thomas College is just taking them down to the cleaners and paying for the bills. With a minute 45 and counting here, we're going to have to see how does Penman, SNHU get their space here. Is it the luck of the draw here with the new Anna Mythical, or is it going to come out from the back line here, picking them off one by one? We'll have to see it. Can Ultima clean it up for them? They're able to find that initial hit with the Nano here, but they need another. Who's going to be the next target? They try for Neon here. Neon not able to get picked off. Instead, going to punish the aggression here by getting the pulse bomb knocked on in. Finding the follow-up. That's going to be a triple there. Can they get the next? They cannot, but they did their job. They clocked in their 9 to 5, and they're happy with the results. An amazing play coming on out from them there as we're seeing them make their push on in. It's now coming down to this, 40 seconds remaining, and they're just trying to apply some pressure on the point here. But they just are not, they're lacking in pressure here right now. Winston has a great idea for dive, but no one to support it. And that is very bad for the side of the Penman, especially Crazy Cat falling yet again here. Time and time again, you're having this pulse bomb trying to go for a setup. They just need to stick it onto someone. They can't be going for these fancy plays, or maybe I'm going to hold it to see if someone's low. Maybe I'm going to try to have them walk into it. No, you just got to use it. You don't have time to mess around. You got to get on and try to press W here into this. Winston's going to be the first one to fall here, as you're going to have the initiation coming on out. They still have overtime in play here, but they don't have the Diva Bomb copy to execute. Does the Pulse Bomb come on out? It did, but it didn't find anyone. Everyone on the side of Thomas College is alive and well as they get map number 2. It was a real nail biter there in the beginning, I'll tell you what, but Thomas College was able to hold on out. Play of the game here, however, coming out from Ultima, the star pilot, being able to get that copy there and really set their team up for this first point was crucial to them winning it. Great play by them. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Enjoy the tunes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for potentially the last and final map of the night. Welcome to Esperanza. Here we're going to be having a push mode. What does that mean? Well, you got a bot here, you got some barricades. Make sure you get to checkpoints and as far as possible within 10 minutes. If either side makes it to the destination, they win. Is Thomas College going to come out here sweeping with a 3-0 victory? Or does SNHU have something left to give here to bring it on back? Find out now as the points start on up. Both sides making their way on forward here. We're going to see a complete swap up here from the side of SNHU as they're going to be utilizing a Ramatra here, a Cassidy, a May, but keeping the support lineup. It's a solid lineup to say the least, and one that is very well utilized for this point. Can Thomas College react to it? We're going to have to find out. Bookshelf is going to be the one that has to play it safest right now as they have to all rotate around to the opposite side. Now, both sides having traded positions. However, the ones in control is going to be SNHU, and they've squelched Aquilian out in the open here. They have Aquilian having to be very careful, really relying on their DPS to make the push in here as Payne finds the first elimination there. Now going to be followed up with Ramatra, having to try to block off as much as possible, but not going to be able to outlive the damage being blocked there. It's now just being a lost fight here. No one's finding a pick from the side of SNHU. They just got to reset as the bot goes over to Thomas College. A great reversal there, to say the least, and a minute burned, but the clock is still ticking here. Right now, what you have to see is committed pushes onto Thomas College here. You got to find someone who's slow or isolated here, blocked off even. Maybe you try to go for a fake in, right? Have Helios push in somewhat and try to see if they can try to bait out the push here. No one going to be really going in quite yet, but watch out, Aquilian here, starting to get aggressive here. Crazy Cat's going to be the first one to fall. Now it's going to have to be ultimately staying alive. Well, it's going to need Ramatra. It's crying for anyone to be able to help them out here. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case as they're going to be picked off one by one yet again. And this point will progress. So with that being said, Ultimate's ready and on the board going into this. Neon, having already used the Pulse Bomb going into this, they are now going to earn their first checkpoint here as close spawn has been granted to Thomas College. As for the side of SNHU, Penman here need to start taking some space. They need to start defining control of these walls and pulls. High Noon's going to be coming on out from Ultima Leap to try to see who they can find, but they find no one. It's completely wasted as Killer's going in with his ult here, and they're going to be going in with the orbital cannon. Can they get the elimination? Yes, sirree. That's going to be not just a single, but a double, a triple dare from the side. Can they get the fourth? They do find it. Helios is the last one alive. They're trying to take the spot, but they can't. Everyone's already on it, and they're going to keep this progress a-going. A quick team kill coming on out here, and ladies and gentlemen, know that this is a best of 5 series here. So the first to win 3 maps entirely will win the series, and Thomas College is up 2-0. So it's match point territory. It is not a comfortable place to be in whatsoever, especially if you're someone like One Trick there, getting pushed out into the open and eliminated with the assistance of the Terriers. They're just going. They're applying so much pressure that Helios does not even have the time to react for an ult. I mean, look at this space. 6 minutes and almost capped. This is almost unheard of in a competitive scene here. I mean, it's just a dominant display. Orbital cannon coming on in here, and it's going to be Thomas College backing off. They know they don't need to push this. They almost completely capped this point, so just maintaining their space is the best play they can make right now. They do get control yet again, and Killer trying to stay alive does get out, but here comes the rally as it's going to be coming in as fast as it does. Payne activating their orbital cannon here as the pulse, not the pulse bomb, the Diva Bomb comes on out. It's trades blow for blow, but Thomas College is the one in control, and they need to try to see if they can stop it, unless they were to C9 this point here. They regained control, but it was a dirty fight to say the least. Speaking of which, Neon is getting away with the bot. They were able to take it back even further, almost getting some more progress on the point. That dirty rascal they're going to be able to get this point long away for them to have plenty of close spawn time. Going to be going here for a setup. Look at Killer going in with this wave, ready to go. The Quake just has to find a position here, and that position it does find. Unfortunately, he gets blocked initially here, but what's this? The Blizzard from surprise here. Killer's in a real bad position, and they're going to be the first to fall here with Cassie hitting the high noon here, dealing some damage onto Quillian, enough for the DMAC. Going here, going to have to die on point as they're just stalling them out. And they do it in a way that they don't catch the respawn wave there. Unfortunate for Thomas College, but not that big of a loss, as the bot moves slower when it's pushing a barricade versus running on its own. So they have a lot of distance to make up for against the Terriers here. Looking to see if they can find some damage markers. They're not going to, as they're continuing this progress, but they invested a good number of ults into that, and they need to try to build up here. That build up is going to be found fast here with Helios, as they're just hunting for the Diva here, almost getting that DMAC, mind you, and the point is completely uncontested right now as well. Pulse comes on out from Neon, but Neon does not find any picks there, unfortunately. In fact, they have to play it very safe and back on off, and Venture is walled on up. They can't get on through. They're stuck on the wall. Here comes the orbital cannon here. Lots of damage coming on in, and no Diva Bomb to be met with. They're just going to have to fall one by one here. They need to die or fall back immediately. Neon going to try to fight Crazy Cat here, but not the best decision to be made here right now. Especially when you got everyone else trying to regroup here. Killer being one of them that just gets caught in the open, completely staggered. And that's going to push Thomas's progress back a little bit more, as this point is completely uncontested right now with just over 3 minutes remaining. If they take the lead here, Thomas College needs to get the bot all the way back to the other side of the map in order to have a chance to be able to win the map. It's whoever gets the farthest here, mind you. So this is really important that they get picks off here, and picks they find. It's Fives, it's Ultima, and One Trick. The trio have fallen here. The Spider and Montreal trying to out-pressure this damage. That orbital cannon just does way too much support for the team. So with close spawn available here, it's going to be up to Penman to try to see if they can find some early picks in this choke here, going on to the side. Venture going to be playing back. They know not to overcommit themselves here, while at the same time Thomas College is just trying to get it to halfway, at least to start, because they still have the advantage. They still have the lead here, even if it's only by 12 meters. Here comes the freeze. The freeze is going to find one of them. They're going to be able to get that initial pick there, and that's going to start out the Penmen strong here. SNHU are now looking for more picks here, but watch on out if you're the side of Thomas College. You're getting picked off out of position, and that's going to put you in a real bad spot here. You will have the rally coming on out from Fives here, keeping the team alive. Even with Killers investing their ults into this, it finds no value, unfortunately. And they're going to keep this pressure on. Space is being made, Diva Bomb being invested, trying to get an instant remake here as well. As Neon does find One Trick. With Juno having fallen here, you're now in a bit of a pickle here from the side of SNHU right now, because they don't have the pressure needed to make the lead in their favor. They need to take space, but they need to do it together as a team. If they are not together able to pick off targets with proper pressure, they're only going to be left in the dust here. You're seeing a lot of aggression coming out from Helios here, but watch out from behind, as you're going to be seeing them try to make their match. Crazy Cat here trying to stay alive. Helios and Ultima have fallen already, so it's really up to gain some of these headshots here for Cassidy, but Cassidy's not going to be able to do it. It's just too much chaos, too much pressure, too many angles to fire at once. With 60 seconds remaining here, and checkpoint granted to Thomas College, there's not a lot of hope left for the side of SNHU. There's still a chance, but it's a slim one at best. Watch out for Neon though. Neon gets the sticky. Immediate elimination. They're going to be found as they're kicking them off yet again. No one to be found else. They were able to take out Killer and invest Juno, two orbital cannons going in against one another within a similar line of fashion. However, the damage has been dealt greatly against the Terriers here. This is the one last chance for SNHU to take this win. I'm hearing pause there, and we are going into a pause. Something is up here, as it was called just before there was the stall here on point by Pain. So what is the decision to be made here? Mouse has died. Oh, unfortunate there. As we're going to be looking for when they come back in off of that pause. So the question is, what are we going to be doing in this case here, chat, right? What is SNHU's, what's their game plan here? They have 14 seconds remaining, 2 ults to work with against Thomas College's Diva Bomb, and not to mention Killer's ultimate as well. Pain has now fallen here, but the stall was good enough. Killer, if they really wanted to get fancy with it, would just push their way on in, but they don't have to. Instead, they're going to try to play it for as much stall as possible. Right now, you're seeing Neon gain a little caught out with their pants down, having to deal with the wall there. Post spawn has been now taken away from the side of Thomas College. They go in for an aggressive Blizzard here, but it doesn't find any freezes. They do trade for Crazy Cat here as Pulse or Diva Bomb is invested. They're able to use the rally to stay alive and push back against Killer, who tried to go and take down 5s. With close spawn now being awarded, again, they need 12 meters. A mere 12 meters. That is the equivalent of just 12 feet. That's not a whole lot. But they better not C9 this. They don't have a whole lot of time. If they stay to overtime too long, they will lose control at this point very fast. Here comes Killer with the ult. 2 shockwaves on in. Finds the 4th with a kill there on the 5s. You're going to be seeing Ramatra here investing with ult. The Annihilation trying to see what they can find. But they need to keep pressure on. Can they get Bookshelf? They do find Bookshelf and they have numbers on. Ladies and gentlemen, they might actually be able to bring this back. Thomas College may not be able to cap this against them. It's all coming down to this. Pain's going to have to make the touch, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough here. They slow him down. They get the touch, but it's not enough. SNHU wins the point. And with that, we're going into a map number 4. It's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say. But here, coming out with the play of the game, the Mortal Pain, looking for the team play. It's not always about all the picks in the world. Sometimes all it matters is keeping your team alive and enabling them for the fight here. And that's exactly what we saw there from Pain. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back. Here, we are on Flashpoint. Think of it as the same thing as King of the Hill, aka Control, except you got 5 different points scattered around the map. First one to cap 3 of them wins. Now, we did see SNHU was able to bring it on back there in that last map. I mean, stupendous performance on their part to be able to stay alive here, but they need to get more in order to really come out on top, to say the least. Now, we're going to be seeing a little bit of change-ups here. The only change being Aquilian specifically over onto the Orisa. So we're looking to see here if SNHU can try to make a comeback, or is this going to be the end for them? These points tend to cap faster than normal, so we'll have to see how either side engages here, but it's going to be brawl versus brawl here. Whoever can apply more pressure is going to come out on top here, and right now that pressure is going to be pushing in against Thomas College as they lose Pain immediately. Without Pain, there's no suffering, is there? As you're now going to be seeing Aquilian try to play with pressure here, but it's really not going in favor of the Terriers at the moment, as it's just really a baffling fight from either side. No one's really getting the picks, but it's starting to come out on top for Thomas here. The point is currently in control of SNHU. The Penmen trying their darndest to stagger this point as long as possible to build up as much percentage as they can. So looking into this here, they got a good chunk to start. And usually on these types of maps, you may get at best 2 to 3 fights at most. Gonna be seeing Killer here going around, trying to flank, see what damage they can do to build up their Tectonic Shock. Yes, I did look up that ultimate name. We're gonna be seeing them press on into it now here. They're looking for the support, but they get caught out in the open, tunnel visioning, as Crazy Cat's able to punish it. Now Thomas College having to play back themselves. They're going to try to stall out the point. They're able to get the initial, and both orbital cannons are in. So the point turns back over just by getting off of it for but a moment, as Helios was able to stay on and apply pressure. In fact, going in here with the Annihilation here, Helios is looking for some more picks that they can find. As it turns over, it's 50% and counting, but it goes twice as fast as mentioned before. I see you guys all enjoying making fun of me for my calculator. Go do it, alright? It's good if you're smart. That's why you stay in school. So, with 75% and counting, this will be the last team fight for this point, if they can make the touch at all. Neon here, going to be coming in with the backline, trying to push against. Here comes the Tectonic Shock. They're trying to apply some pressure, but the point is still ticking away, as they're now going to try to get on here. It's going to be the tank duel right now, and Helios, not a lot of abilities to utilize though. It's really going to come down to how Crazy Cat positions themselves here with the overload. Doing a lot of damage into here, needs to find a pickoff. I could have sworn that was a headshot, but Neon knows just how to dip him, and the point is capped there by Thomas. UOC Ultima is caught out in the open, staggering themselves for what needed to be their potential last fight here. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's going to be another touch here from SNHU. Instead, they're going to have to play back for the next point here, trying to build up ults where they can. If they can find an early pickoff, great. Otherwise, they need to just start mobilizing their rotations here. And pickoff they will find here immediately. Neon also feeling the burn, but not going down quite yet. Tanks are lost, but Aquilian here duking it on out. Golden's on Oak to try to see what they can do. A beautiful jab to the head, but not one to kill. Instead, it will only play for the knockback there. No point unlocked quite yet, but the Pulse finds 5s. There's a lot of chaos and mayhem going on into this, but you are going to be seeing the pressure keep pushing here. They're able to get the initial wall out here, which is a great starter here for the side of Thomas College to be able to take out Ultima, and they're making the follow-ups there. There goes Crazy Cat as well. They did invest the orbital cannon, however, it went into the corner where no one could utilize it from then on, and that is not good for the side of SNHU here. So now Thomas College in control yet again here. Going to be seeing a bit more push-up from them, as on this part of the point, it's really about maintaining the space. What is Killer doing? They've tried this trick before and they'll do it again. They're in a position, if they wanted to utilize their ult and get silly with it. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing there. The Tectonic Shock finds one, but is all it's going to be as they trade it up. They're trying to apply some pressure on point, and they're doing a great job of it at that. All there is left right now is Bookshelf, who is desperately trying to stay alive with the rally and zone him, but there's only so much you can do when handling the Nemesis form. Fall there from Neon as Fives is able to get their revenge onto them and turn the point into their control. Venture here has to be very careful. Killer cannot overstay their welcome here if they're going to be playing for the team fight. Neither can Ultima, as it's really timing. Fives yet again falling victim to the Pulse Bomb. It is their kryptonite, I'd say. They're able to get the recall initiated there, but they need more here. They're able to get a reposition, but pulled back on in. You're not escaping. Get over here. Aquilian being able to get that kill confirmed for Killer there, as they're just trying to stall for a point. It's really going to come down to this Nemesis form. Can they get the picks they're looking for as the orbital cannon comes in? One Trick needs to stay alive and get there. They do! They're doing the damage. They're able to find their first pickoff here, but they need another. They're looking to see if they can take down Aquilian. 82% and counting here. They've done the damage, and now they're trying to just clean up whoever is left. Especially Venture here. Killer trying to stall out this point here for an overtime. It was enough to do so, and Neon is going to engage as well. Gotta see how Thomas is just really tempoing themselves to be able to push as they do here. They're able to knock back the supports for now. However, the kills are clocking on up here. I'm not sure if SNHU can really hold on out for much longer. And with that, the point will turn again. There is a chance to go for a recap here, as it's only 75% now, and they still have Juno for a potential ring. I stand corrected. They have scrapped any ability for speed here, and now it's going to be down 90% and counting. They don't have enough time to touch. I know this for a fact, but they're going to try for it anyway. Do they get it? No siree. They're going to try for some picks here, but the fight was already lost. They needed to regroup themselves and get to the next point. Gonna see the rotation now coming on out of Aquilian, trying to get away if they can, but the walls make things difficult here. Great zoning from the side of the Terriers. Watch out now, here comes the Tectonic Shock, able to get some damage in, but not find any picks. Wizard to be found here, as they're able to take out the break here. It's a really dirty fight we're seeing go on right now. Nothing clean to say the least. And they're going to trap Ultima here in the room with the Orisa, walling themselves in. Why'd they do that? I don't know. The rotation is going all the way on over to the other side here in the Shrine. He is swapping over to the Orisa. Maybe the name of the game is just to try to tank match him. But again, Killer is just a pure distraction, I swear. Their main job is to pick anyone who doesn't pay attention to them and draw attention where they can. Bookshelf coming in here with the rally. Going to start getting aggressive on this, but decides not to. They lose Neon, and that's going to be an immediate call for retreat, as they are not going to overextend themselves. Here comes Crazy Cat going in with the overclock, I should say, excuse me. Trying to get some picks here. Fives is able to clean it on up, but it was taking them a while to confirm anything. The point is at 60% and continuing here. Things are just looking dire for them. Killer just not giving up control till the very last breath. They finally take it, but it's 77%, and they have a long way to come on back here, I tell you. It is not looking optimal for them, to say the least, but Thomas College, they're playing their own clock here, and they are ready whenever. They have no ultimates, but you do see the swap coming out from Neon here to the Pharah. They're playing at the angle here that makes it difficult to address. The one to really keep an eye on, again, is Killer here, playing towards the back line, looking for the pick, but actually not going to find it. Now actually in a very dangerous situation as they overplayed their hand, and now Blizzard going into the black line. It's going to find Bookshelf to start. Fives immediately killed, but not before they execute the Kitsune Rush. This could be the point there for SNHU, one that they definitely need. And right now, I don't think that Thomas College should be playing for touch here. They need to play back. It's fine to give up this point here. They're up 2-0 right now. Do they go for it? Yes, sirree, they're trying, but they're not going to be able to. I stand corrected. They get the overtime, but I definitely don't think it was worth it. They are overplaying their hand, and they need to get a rotation going to get away. Being picked off one by one like this is not the plan. Instead, you need to get yourselves moving, rotating on over. Because as it's opened up to Garden, it gives the advantage here to Thomas College to cap early. However, it was really hopeful for the side of SNHU that they would get the ruins. Unfortunately, they do not. Neon going for an ult there, one that just finds no value whatsoever, getting punished outright, as full control of this point is going to go over the SNHU. Right now, Thomas College is caught in a bit of an awkward position here. They're using Venture to stall, but the point has already turned. They couldn't get there in time despite the rotation. Here comes the overclock again. Gotta have to escape Aquilian here, who's trying to build up for the Mei, but Mei is able to outlive it outright, entirely. Gonna be met with the tectonic shock here, finding 3. They're keeping their team alive and kicking. Javelin to the face. They're going to be a clean wipe there with the stagger on the Crazy Cat there. And right now, it's imperative that Ultima hits the fattest Blizzard of their career here and now. They need to be very smart in the way they play. If that was anyone else, Killer had them dead to rights. They're looking to see if they can just take some space here. But Ultima really needs to get to that back line there. They're able to get the Blizzard out. Is it any good, however? No, it is not. Everyone zones it completely here. Right now, they're looking for any sort of opening pick, and that's going to be found by Thomas here as they take out 5s to start, as well as Crazy Cat. Now they're falling like flies here, taking everyone else off the map. They're doing a hard reset in order to catch the respawn wave. 80% and counting. 5s is going to have to potentially touch here with Crazy Cat. Heroes can try to make it. They got the speed to start here, and they're able to take the underpass here. So they are on with the overtime initiated. It's everyone else that needs to get back, and 5s unfortunately is not able to stay alive here. Heroes trying, and Neon is the first to fall here from the side of Thomas College, so they find an opening pick here. However, Ultima Leap is the next one taken down, and Bookshelf and Aquilian, the unit pair, are making sure they can zone this as best as they can. They almost find the Gino, but it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to be it. The final match goes to Thomas College. And play the game coming on out here from, once again, the Assassin Killer. A beautiful ult going into this that won them the team fight through it all. Well, thank you again, everyone, so much for watching. It was a blast having you guys here once again. That's going to be it here for us tonight. I'll be seeing you all next time, maybe on the off time. Until then, bye-bye.